how many people are really watching these and how many people are really learning. It doesn't really matter. It just matters that you're putting the word out there. That's all that really matters. And as long as the word starts to take root, what we're trying to do, I said we. Yeah. Why? There's more people than me, obviously, doing this. Yeah, with the things that I feed on there and I get from the floor, and obviously all the people I've had beautiful conversations with and training and instruction. Yes, training and instruction. Yeah, that evil John the Baptist was training that evil Jesus. Yeah. Those evil people growing up with Moses were training him to be a good man. My mom was training me. Mike and me talked about this. Everything's a form of training. My sisters and my mom trained me. Girls just it didn't work. They thought I was gay. They would get naked in front of me. As soon as we'd start dating, it became this big challenge, and they would be, let's go to your house. Go buy condoms. I don't prefer get the stuff ready. The boy at his mom's house. I'm going to leave the girl at my mom's house. You got the stuff already? Let's go. You're a challenge. You're supposed to be this big Don Juan. You haven't tried about. That's the whole thing. I wasn't trying. Well, I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to sleep with, but I was looking for somebody to stay with. Yeah, I was looking for that right girl. I always talked myself out of it because it was either monetary, it was either this, it was either that. I wanted to find all the right pieces. I needed to find a candida that was okay if I was a carpenter, that if I took this job and worked at a school in South Phoenix, that she was okay living in an area accessible to the children in the school in South Phoenix, that she was okay with a little ghetto lifestyle, being around ghetto-type people, that she didn't mind that if I would get up and I have these children with problems, that I would either go to them or also like Mr. Sanchez did and Bishop Manowar did, give these young adolescents access to my house and home during certain times to where they could come and hang out and talk and get to know. And he was accessible. He would tell us that too. He gave us, Mr. Sanchez gave us phone number and stuff and said these other things. You can call me at this. You can come. I had been to his house because there were certain times where one of my friends went and talked to him and I went with them. Well, we're going to Leo's house. I'm going too. I love Mr. Sanchez. Plus his daughter is cute. Yeah, but we're not Catholics. Oh, damn. she is almost, not more almost. I'm thinking about converting, me and Jeff walking, I'm thinking about converting to Catholicism. Like, she'd be worth it. Mr. Sanchez's daughter. Come on, she's raised, and his mom. Come on. We just joke about it all the way down there. And his kids were great, and his family was great, and his daughter was very polite, very beautiful. We never really even talked to her. She was very polite and sweet, and she's beautiful, beautiful girl. But but he was accessible. But he told us there are certain times, he goes, between 6 and whatever, we have dinner every night, and this is when my wife and me decide to have dinner, and you do not call during dinner. If you call during dinner, whoa, you don't call during dinner, right? So, and my dad was the same way. Oh, God, if a telemarketer thing called, and they call during dinner, whoa. So I related to that. I was like, damn, that's just like my dad. You don't call during not during, that's sacred time, it's supper, You don't call during supper. You call up during supper. Yep. Because we used to sit down and everybody sat down at the table and you said a prayer and you finished your meal. It was rough. At my house, you had to eat everything on the plate because he worked hard for it. But Dad, I hate peas. They stopped that. Oh God. Yeah, we have a horrible tale one night. One of us was actually feeling well and threw up her spaghetti on her plate. And then we were all sitting there eating, and somebody, you got to get it and stuff. Mom wasn't home, and it didn't get cleaned off soon enough. So we all started throwing up. So then he finally was like, yeah, this is too much. You could smell it in the air. I said, okay, we can all just stop eating. Because he wanted to try to get everybody through the meal, but he couldn't. He wasn't trying to be abusive. It was just sit down and eat. The rest of you are fine. Just the smell of it. It was spaghetti, and so it was like, you couldn't help it. You just automatically had a gag reflex, and it was just, especially when you eat spaghetti, and it was pretty hard. It was an interesting night. Poor Dad was just like disturbed by it too, because he's one of the type of people you can't talk about anything while you're eating anything remotely disgusting. Bathroom. He has a very you can sit there while I'm eating, that I stick my finger up my butt after I take a dump, and I'll be like, yeah, whatever. No, this is one of my favorite meals. I don't care. I'll just tune you out. Well, I can, whatever, yeah. If it's something like that, now if it's something that you're actually physically doing that's disturbing to others or something like that, then I'll stop eating, kick your ass, and go back to eating. That's how I am. I don't get real upset. You can try to gross me out and everything. I mean, she was telling me something really gross. I'm like, that's just wrong. Like the whole thing when she threw up, and then, then I wouldn't eat. Oh, damn, I like spaghetti. So it's one of those things. That's funny. Guys, you guys talk about some of the most interesting things, and we segue into different things to talk about different things in nature and the nature of being a human being. I like the conversations we have, and I agree with you. I'm the same way. It's like, how in the heck? That's why I'm censored so much by people like Eckhart Tolle and all that. Well, because, I mean, come on. Go listen to his stuff that they post, and go listen to the stuff that we post over here. And it's like a no-brainer. It's just like, this is cool. This is like spiritual guidance with a little George Carlin and other people and Practical and Andy Griffith all rolled up into, this is fun. This is more fun. We're learning and it's fun. That's why I liked Mr. Sanchez's class. That's why I like Mr. Coffeen. That's why I like Miss Klinger and stuff like that. I got into George Orwell, Shakespeare, all these other things. And Miss Klinger's English class, she made it interesting, exciting. Another person that was one of our big teachers was Phil Donahue. She loved Phil Donahue. And he covered a lot of points in society that we talked about that applied to these books. And everybody was like, oh, she gets off topic, it's great. No, Miss Klinger would take a subject from Phil Donahue's show and apply it to something in Shakespeare, which was very applicable because Shakespeare was a social satirist that was criticizing things in his own society that were going wrong. And that's what Phil Donahue was trying to do too. So, yeah, she worked it in. She was a beautiful, brilliant teacher. When I tell you, thanks, Oprah. When I tell you that Miss Klinger was a really good teacher, I ain't screwing with you. And I had the same relationship with Professor Laverine. We had like a crush. I had a crush on my teacher, but it wasn't a crush like, it was a love like Miss Klinger loved me like, that's a special kid. And it's going to be neat to see. Mr. Scroggs had the same kind of relationship with me. He sat there one time in class and said, you're a fun kid, and it's going to be neat to see what it's like when you're a senior. He told me that one day. It's good. You're enjoyable to have. And because me and Michelle Pettison, we had the class together, and we both got along real well, and we joked around. And Mr. Scroggs set up, Jesse Scroggs set up that kind of conditions in the class for the people to interact. He had a more Socratic teaching method. And different than Mr. Swank. Mr. Swank, that's how I knew so much about Nathan Bedford Forrest, because Mr. Swank, he was expressive storyteller, and he drew you in, he did all things. He told you all these wonderful stories about Nathan Bedford Forrest and about the Ku Klux Klan, the sound the gun makes when we click, clack, Ku Klux Klan, and we do it to defend our family. And he got into it, and he gets you in. At first, it's really beautiful the way he describes it. And then when he starts talking about owning people and property, then you're like, no, you can't own people. You want to sleep with, you're calling me a fag because you want to have sex with Regina Du Bois as much as I do. You like Shelley Kinnison's about as much as I do. You just want it to be back where you own them again and can go in and sleep with them anytime you want. And I want to get to know them because they're beautiful girls and would like to treat them like a girlfriend. And these girls here too, you see these dark girls around. You are a fucking asshole. Sorry, I'm sorry. Oprah says it's okay, Mama. Okay. Yeah. When you look at your lingerie, you think you should have dominion over it like the Hildagos over here and be able to go sleep with her and make a child with it and then run off and let the other guy raise the child. Just like poor Gambets. Yeah, and that's why. You're mad, aren't you, Oprah? Because when I called that lady about it at Middle Passage and that other thing, stuff like that, this is the same kind of conditions that Eckhart and all those people are trying, and you guys don't talk. Thank you, Maya Angelou. Yes. All right. Bless you. Yeah, we don't buy this bullshit in America anymore. You can't sleep with other men's wives. You can't own people. You can't manipulate them sexually. No, not anymore. You don't teach our mothers to try to manipulate men sexually so then they take retribution on the young girls. We're not going to use this monetary-based economy in order for people to manipulate people sexually anymore. We're sick of it. We don't like it. We are the women of America. We are the black women of America, white women of America, any women. We are the women of America, and we won't take your bullshit anymore, auto primagers. Nathan Bedford Forrest. Sorry, Mr. Swank. I'm going to have to fire you as a teacher. I'll take Mr. Scruggs instead. Blessings and peace.